Hi, I'm Creative Dave, and today I'm taking a break from movie watching to talk about something very important to me. The creative conundrum with schools! I have worked in schools my entire career. Being an educator is the reason I started studying creativity. The story goes like this. I would assign creative projects. I would tell the students that this was their chance to be creative, and then the results were not what I had hoped for. Maybe 10% might be truly creative, but then the rest would be just copies or variations of my work or other examples I had shown them. I think every teacher has experienced the frustration of students don't know what to do, so we try to help and we give an example, and then everything that winds up being turned in is a copy of the example! I needed to find out more, and so I dug in. I got my master's degree. I studied. I read. I talked. I talked to other educators, I talked to CEOs, I talked to parents, I read some more. And here's what I found out. Two big problems. We're not teaching kids to be creative, and two, we're actually inadvertently teaching them not to be creative. We're not teaching kids to be creative, we're just expecting them to be creative when we ask for it. And we do ask for it. Every teacher I know knows how important it is to be creative. But I think because we know that kids have seen creativity, that they can just be creative when we ask them to. But that's like saying everyone has heard music, that everyone should be able to write music. Can everyone write music that's interesting and original and good? We have the 4 stages of the creative problem-solving process: clarify, ideate, develop, implement. We have divergent and convergent thinking skills. That's a very important process that I argue is even as important as the scientific method. And I know that I'm guilty sometimes of just expecting kids to be able to do it. We can't just assume that someone can be creative. Anyone can, but we have to teach them how. The second problem is we're inadvertently teaching kids not to be creative. Life's real-life problems require finding solutions that no one else has found yet, which is totally the opposite of what we do in school. We've made school all about finding the right answer. That's convergent thinking, given all of the options, which one is the best. Real-life creative solutions come from divergent thinking. Now, my colleagues and I have designed some wonderfully creative learning for kids, and it's awesome, but here's the thing. It always comes down to that test. And when the test is what's most important, then finding the right answer is what's most important. How do we measure creativity on tests that are designed only to find right answers? So what? IBM conducted a study in 2010 that we talk about a lot. They surveyed 1,600 CEOs and found that the business environment is highly volatile, increasingly complex, and rapidly evolving, and that the best way to handle this is, you guessed it, creativity. Basically, we are living in a world with no right answers, and the only way to make sure we keep moving forward is with creativity. Education researcher Elliot Eisner proposed 5 questions that we could use to evaluate schools in place of large-scale tests. Are the students asked to engage in problems and activities that invite questions and have no particular set outcome? Are students working with intellectually significant ideas that include multiple perspectives? Are students making connections with life outside of school? Are students engaged in designing and evaluating their own learning? And are students working cooperatively, engaging in work in similar ways field professionals work? That opens up some really great ways to be creative. Let's teach students how to work on problems that have no right answers and make that what's most important. And we can, within the framework of what we already have. As soon as COVID-19 hit, large-scale testing was shut down and we were asked to focus on what was most important. We are living in a time of no right answers. So let's turn problems into possibilities and engage the students to do it with us. This is normally the part of the video where I pitch my book, but I'm not going to go into used car salesman mode here. My other videos, they talk about the creativity formula and how you can set up an environment primed for creativity. If you want more resources, check out my book. As always, I love speaking to school groups, community groups, and businesses about creativity and the creative process. You can check out my website for my availability at creativedave.net. And remember, turn life's little problems into possibilities with creative thinking. Until next time, I'm Creative Dave.